Well, I think at this point now they can, and we'll see if anything else changes within the roster, but they can move forward knowing that Kawhi Leonard is not going to be a part of their team for this year, and they could still have intentions to get him at the end of next season. But for LeBron James, I mean, I think for him, for the Lakers in general, they want to start acclimating LeBron and their offense, their systems, both ends of the court, onto how they want to play, what they need to do. How can he bring along some of these young players that are there, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma? How can he start to acclimate them into how they're going to play? Because for me, I'm excited to see. The biggest question mark is how are they going to utilize a player like LeBron James? What is Luke Walton going to do in making sure that he is maximizing the greatest player in the world? So I think for the Lakers, this at least in the forefront gives them an opportunity to put Kawhi on the side and not think about him this season and move forward with the group that they have as presently constituted.
For the Lakers, if both of these things I'm about to say as premises are true, not trading for Kawhi will end up working out for them. If they get him in a year, and if LeBron James continues playing at this level for the bulk, if not the entirety of his Laker contract, then I would trade out 1 year with Kawhi, especially with the Warriors not only as good as they were last year, but having added Boogie Cousins, for the ability to keep Brandon Ingram, who is the only Ball was not going to be part of the trade. So the only player that was potentially part of a trade who I think could be an all-star. And then good role players in Kuzma, Hart, whomever else might have been there. Maybe they wanted Mo Wagner, like the draft pick out of Michigan. If both those things are true, if you're getting Kawhi and if LeBron's going to keep this up, forget year 16, but in year 17, 18, maybe even 19, then the Lakers are fine. You almost assuredly, even with Kawhi, I believe, we're not going to be able to win a championship this season, not with gutting the roster to get him. LeBron plus Kawhi are not enough to go up against this Golden State team in a 7-game series, I don't believe. And so then it makes sense. But those are a lot of ifs now. It's a lot of ifs about a guy who will be going into his age 35 season and year 17, which is what we're talking about LeBron 2 years from now. It's a lot of ifs about Kawhi Leonard. Even he wants to be in Los Angeles. C has made it clear, while he prefers the Lakers, the city is the draw, not necessarily the team. Like, there's a lot of factors here. Factors about how this season's going to go, how good those young players are going to look. Like, all of that is now a variable that I really believe when Magic Johnson very confidently said, listen, judge me off not just this offseason, but next offseason. I think he believed he had a bird in the hand of LeBron and another guy. Now, the most important part this year, the most important one was LeBron, and they got him. But that other guy now, I mean, the tap's it's empty now. Right. Like, it's going to be this team for this season.
But Magic and the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, I believe they've done a good job because they're not handicapped. They're not strapped. They're not strapped with a bunch of existing contracts, players they don't want to move forward. Their rebuilding process is on time. And I do believe in sports, when you don't make a bad deal, you have made a good deal for yourself. So the Lakers, they didn't give away all their draft picks. They didn't give away all their talent. So they still, because Kawhi's interest is not going to change no matter where he goes. So Toronto, you can trade for him. I told him not to. Kawhi still wants to be in Los Angeles. So for the Lakers, they will have a season under LeBron. Now, as far as what they need to do now, they have to figure out what type of style are they going to play. Last year, one of the top 10 teams in the NBA as far as pace. LeBron has never been on a team that played that fast. So also, Lonzo Ball, he's not healthy right now. He's got a bad knee. So even if they start working out together, you're not going to be able to establish a style of play because your point guard is hurt. LeBron's at 15 years in the league. He can only play so much with these guys. So how long does it take for the overall chemistry and what they're going to be? Offensively, what kind of pace are they going to be? And how much do they buy into as a young team helping each other on the defensive end? Because if they are ever going to win a championship, it's going to be based on the athleticism of these young players being able to defend, and they'll defend for long periods of time. So those things have to be established in right now.
So the question that I would have if I'm the Lakers is how good can this team be? Like, because we talked about, yes,
or in year?
This year. We talked about the over-under, right? And it was at 50.5 wins after winning 35 games last year. And I said I thought baked into that over-under was the thought they were getting Kawhi Leonard. We now know they're not. In the Western Conference, which, by the way, only had 2 50-win teams last year, but we now know with San Antonio, they're not going to fall off a cliff. San Antonio should be better than they were last year because they didn't have Kawhi Leonard last year, and now they're adding DeMar DeRozan into that void. Oklahoma City's status quo, essentially, with the absence of Carmelo Anthony, we think, which could be a boost for them. Where are the Lakers? We saw LeBron was a big enough rising tide to raise all boats out east. And it's out west where home court advantage in the first round is going to matter, where you are going to have. So we go to Denver and then Utah and then Portland. There's fewer. I don't know that they have, other than Houston and Golden State, great teams out west. But there's not a lot of bad teams out west. And so how good we are, the one thing that has happened with the Lakers' young core that I want to caution people about is we've talked a lot about how good these players will be. For this season, it's about how good they are right now, and I think that's a question that remains to be answered. Even of Brandon Ingram, certainly with Lonzo Ball, those are things we don't yet know. And LeBron doesn't have a long history of playing with young guys. We know he can make veterans better. But playing with young guys, it's been a long time since LeBron played with a young guy, other than Kyrie.
And high draft picks. Not only just young role players, we're talking about high draft pick, guys who got talent and do have some skill.
And on top of that, you talk about the question marks. This is the second year. So Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma, what jump? Josh Hart tossed him in. What jump will they make in the second year? But also with pressure, with expectations. Last year for the Lakers, they had some up and down moments, but it's not like there was any expectation
they weren't under
for
the spotlight
them to win. And then you add in, we've talked about a lot of one-year deals.
Right.
What will Rajon Rondo do? What type of player will he be? What type of player will Lance Stevenson add to the there's a lot of factors of players that can have a high potential or give you some benefit, but there's a very low bottom to them where if things don't go right, it can derail.
One thing people won't look at in this trade and everything based on the Lakers and what the Lakers are going to do, they'll talk about how much tougher the West is over the East, where LeBron has dominated. But just remove Golden State. There ain't no answer for LeBron in the West. Houston ain't. Now, they got a better team, but they can't stop LeBron. All right?
Sure.
Any of the other team's going to be seeded. So as we talk about all this stuff, it's just like the East when it comes down to, do you have an answer for that guy? And the only team that's got an answer for that is Golden State, with the totality and the numbers that they can throw at them. But the rest of the West, man, Houston, they're not looking forward to that. And I'm glad San Antonio traded Kawhi to the East because now
Kawhi's the one
he's the
guy
LeBron stopper.
Yeah.
So he's the one who can slow LeBron down. So now he's in the East. Those are Denver. Who they got going to be able to slow?
Well, Denver's not trying to stop nobody.
But just break them down team by team. OKC. You think Paul George want to say no? The OKC is not better than the Lakers.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. So you are, even without Kawhi, you think the Lakers right now are the third best team in the West?
Jenna, who LeBron played with last year?
4 pieces of paper. But here's what I'm
real quick, before we move on, I want to say this. You think right now, LeBron and the kids,
I said it.
They're the third best team in the West?
Yes.
Okay.
Behind Houston, yes. And there is no answer for LeBron in the West.
Okay.
Is LeBron with 4 pieces of paper who are veterans and have experience, is that better or worse or more or less that LeBron had to do than LeBron with 4 young guys?
Because they can't play any defense.
Yeah.
Those spot-up shooters, that basketball is dead.
Okay.
Him playing with old guys, no, because they can't play any defense. So you don't get closer to Golden State and Houston by having a bunch of old guys at this point.
But his role in his
roster is a
responsibility.
huge jump. It's so much better than the Cleveland team of last year. But that's why I think it comes back to the importance of chemistry and the style. How are they going to play? Because the early signs and the early dialogue that it's going to be different than how LeBron James has played in the past, and I'm not sure that will actually happen.